COVID-19, how Bill Gates caused the coronavirus and other weird conspiracy theories.
I'd say it's ironic if you take somebody who's doing their best to get the world ready and, putting, in my case, billions of dollars into these tools for infectious diseases and really trying to solve broadly infectious diseases, including those that can cause pandemics.
The world is tragically under siege, held ransom by a virus that is not a living organism, but has killed thousands of people and instilled abject fear in the lives of the entire world. Many months ago, if anyone had predicted or even prophesied that humanity will be held hostage by the fear of a virus, such a person or prophet would have been laughed to scorn. There is no one across the world that has not been affected. The news of deaths and infections and the collapse of infrastructure are now daily items on social media and on the traditional media. Statistics of death and destruction have become a reality of how frail humans truly are. Many have lost friends, relatives, and families. Businesses, religious institutions, economic institutions have closed down. Countries have locked down entire districts and states. Heads of government are battling with the dilemma whether to allow their national economies to continue functioning or allow people to self-isolate. As the COVID-19 crisis infected over 2.7 million people and caused at least 190,000 deaths, the world also faces a global misinformation pandemic. Conspiracy theories that behave like viruses themselves are spreading just as rapidly online as COVID-19 does offline. Here are some of the weirdest conspiracy theories making rounds. The 5G conspiracy theory. This conspiracy theory that blames COVID-19 on the 5G broadband system is probably one of the most bizarre pieces of misinformation. There are several strains of this theory, ranging from the claims that 5G alters people's immune systems to the idea that 5G changes people's DNA, making them more susceptible to infection. The 5G conspiracy theory originated in early March when an American physician, Thomas Cowan, who proposed it in a YouTube video, but has since been taken down by YouTube according to their new policy. Some people have taken this conspiracy theory so seriously that it led to people setting 5G towers in the UK on fire and threatening broadband engineers.
And the country isn't alone. Cyprus, Belgium and Ireland among those home to conspiracy theorists who believe 5G may have some connection to COVID-19. The UK has reported around 50 fires targeting towers and other 5G.
Rumors gained steam when Carrie Hilson, popular American singer with 4.2 million followers on Twitter, sent out tweets about the alleged connection between 5G and COVID-19, writing, "People have been trying to warn us about 5G for years. Petitions, organizations, studies. What we're going through is the effects of radiation." 5G launched in China November 1st, 2019. People dropped dead, she tweeted. Dispelling the 5G rumors. It is, however, biologically impossible for viruses to spread using the electromagnetic spectrum. The 5G network are waves or photons, while the coronavirus are biological particles composed of proteins and nucleic acids. But that isn't really the point. Conspiracy theories are enticing because they often link two things, which at first dispelling the 5G rumors. It is, however, biologically impossible for viruses to spread using the electromagnetic spectrum. The 5G network are waves and photons, while the coronavirus are biological particles composed of protons and nucleic acids. But that isn't really the point. Conspiracy theories are enticing because they often link two things, which at first might appear to be correlated. In this case, the rapid rollout of 5G networks was taking place at the same time the pandemic hit. It's worth repeating, as the World Health Organization points out, that viruses cannot travel on mobile networks and that COVID-19 is spreading rapidly in many countries that do not even have 5G networks. The Bill Gates conspiracy. Bill Gates has been an advocate for pandemic preparedness for years. His Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is also contributing financially.
Our foundation, Wellcome Trust, and a number of governments created CEPI, which is about making vaccine platforms that are ready when we get surprised to manufacture a new vaccine faster than it's been done in the past. So some work was done, but in retrospect, the saddest thing is to be able to say, yes, that was right. But the whole point of the speech was to drive the research and the planning and the simulation, which would have allowed us to stop this at a very early stage.
To several coronavirus vaccine initiatives, and as the coronavirus pandemic has spread around the world, the Microsoft founder has pledged $250 million to fight the disease and create a vaccine.
The problem was that we didn't have a system at all. In fact, there are some pretty obvious key missing pieces. We didn't have a group of epidemiologists ready to go. A large epidemic would require us to have hundreds of thousands of workers. The failure to prepare could allow the next epidemic to be dramatically more devastating than Ebola. It didn't get into many urban areas, and that was just luck. Next time, we might not be so lucky. It would spread throughout the world very, very quickly. If we start now, we can be ready for the next epidemic.
He famously gave a 2015 TED Talk warning of the potential devastation caused by and urged readiness for a worldwide pandemic. In his 2015 TED Talk, Bill Gates examined the Ebola outbreak that killed thousands of people in Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. He highlighted the factors that kept the disease from spreading worldwide and warned against the potential for a much more contagious worldwide pandemic.
We need to get going because time is not on our side. In fact, if there's one positive thing that can come out of the Ebola epidemic, it's that it can serve as an early warning, a wake-up call to get ready. If we start now, we can be ready for the next epidemic.
Another variant of this conspiracy theory, particularly beloved by anti-vaccination activists, is the idea that Bill Gates masterminded the Covid-19 as part of his plan to vaccinate the world's population as a population control scheme. Some have spread the myth that Bill Gates also wants to use this vaccination program to implant digital microchips that will somehow track and control people. The spread of misinformation, however, refers to the ID 2020, a small non-profit that focuses on establishing digital IDs for poorer people around the world. Dispelling the Bill Gates involvement rumors. Bill Gates, however, answered a question about his involvement in these conspiracy theories in a televised interview with Chinese broadcast channel GCTN. Think about it. How possible is it that a billionaire would waste billions of dollars to kill the people who are supposed to be his potential customers? What does he stand to gain? Just think about it. At number 3 is the coronavirus does not exist group of people. In the midst of a global pandemic, conspiracy theorists have found yet another way to spread dangerous disinformation and misinformation about COVID-19, sowing seeds of doubt about its severity and denying the very existence of the pandemic. The premise for this conspiracy theory rests on the baseless assumption that if hospital parking lots and waiting rooms are empty, then the pandemic must not be real or is not as severe as reported by health authorities and the media. Dispelling the rumors. Well, over 2.6 million have tested positive for coronavirus, and the world has also recorded over 188,000 deaths, including the death of several celebrities like former Chief of Staff Abba Kyari, Pep Guardiola's mom, former Real Madrid President Lorenzo Sanz, former Republic of Congo President Jacques Joachim Yohombi Opango, American rapper Fred Godson, and more others.
We're in a crazy situation, so there's going to be crazy rumors. I hope, whether it's individuals or countries, that in some ways this shows us how interdependent we are. That to stop a global pandemic, we need to find whoever's the best, whatever the best vaccine construct are, the best drugs, and we need to make it without just focusing on one country. We need to make it for the entire world, including for countries that don't have the resources to pay for vaccine research or vaccine factories. You know, they're actually, in many ways, should be the priority for what we do.
Coronavirus is a biological weapon. Soon after the news of the outbreak broke, several users started pointing out that a passage from the 1981 book, The Eyes of Darkness by Dean Koontz, accurately predicts the coronavirus outbreak. The photograph of the passage from the book went viral in no time, and social media users couldn't help but freak out because the resemblance was uncanny and the evidence was hard to dismiss. you some background, the plot is based around a mother who attempts to find out what happened to her son after he mysteriously disappeared on a camping trip. It turns out that the body is held in China, more specifically in Wuhan, the initial epicenter of the deadly virus outbreak. In the passage, a character named Dombe narrates an account of a virus called Wuhan 400, which was developed at the RDNA lab outside the city of Wuhan. And it was the 400th viable strain of man-made microorganisms created at that research center. The passage then gives intricate details about how the virus affects the human body. The chilling accuracy with which this 1981 book predicts the outbreak and the resemblance between Wuhan 400 and coronavirus is really weird to say the least. Dispelling the rumors. While scientists are at odds about the real origin of the Covid-19, there's still no proof that the coronavirus is a biowarfare. What are the solutions? First, let's talk about the danger. Conspiracy theories can kill. And this is especially so in this time of fear and anxiety that people are desperately looking for certainties that will make survival possible. The large levels of information out there in the heart and mind of people across the world have the potential to kill even faster than the pandemic or the coronavirus. For instance, the chloroquine that is still untested with regard to this virus has killed so many already simply because it went viral as the wonder drugs that cure the coronavirus. And there are so many elites who have pressed the masses into false consciousness about whether or not the virus even exists.
If I don't believe in what you believe in, I don't believe in it. Wow. I said we tweet if you don't believe in coronavirus. You want to kill me?
Some Nigerians are of the school of thought that the virus is nothing but karma for the elite following the death of the former chief of staff Abba Kyari. But then it has no basis in reality as community transmission of the coronavirus is now abound, which means that the virus has traveled very far that you do not need to have a direct or even indirect contact with the supposed elite before you can contract the coronavirus. These conspiracy theories, however, if left unchecked, can skew conversations, manufacture anger where there is none, or even dampen debates. These tactics may undermine our ability as citizens to make decisions and reach consensus as a society. Nonetheless, it is non-negotiable that in all that you do, question the source of the news that you acquire and make sure you stay at home and stay safe.